Once upon a time in a land far, far away, a very wise man once stated that AEW is a business that is not predicated on making money. That very wise man now works for the competition. He still remains as AEW's biggest star and still to this day their biggest draw and their biggest ratings draw since last April, man. They haven't topped it. This man is now working for their competition. He's working for a business that is making a whole boatload of money, including himself. And his wife is coming out of retirement for the first time in 10 plus years on one of the biggest shows that WWE will probably do all decade. Now, AEW could have had all this if they actually were serious about running a business and not some indie fed in a fucking sandbox. The point I'm trying to make is AEW with yet another colossal fail this afternoon, as major all-out news breaks this afternoon, and it will be the first AEW pay-per-view streamed on HBO Max. But here's the kicker, folks. If you are subscribed to HBO Max, you will still be paying for AEW pay-per-views, and it's going to cost you more than how you were already watching them. Gee, man, Tony Khan is quite the businessman, ain't he? We're going to go over this and this major fail for AEW right here on Off the Script. It is your Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Leave it to Tony Khan to put me in a bad mood, bro. Alter Bridge released their new single for their new album out in January. It's a banger, and this guy just knows how to ruin everybody's mood, bro. This is coming to us from Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp reported. Actually, it was Andrew Zarian who told us that this deal was imminent, and Sapp broke the news today. The HBO and AEW pay-per-view era is officially here, with a discount of a whopping $10, folks. Oh man, $10 for HBO subscribers. But that isn't it, says Sean Ross Sapp. AEW has confirmed to Fightful Select that the all-out pay-per-view will air at 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, it was originally stated that it would be airing at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it would be going head-to-head with WWE's WrestlePalooza, which is going to be the first WWE PLE streamed on their ESPN DTC service, the first PLE under the ESPN partnership. 8 p.m. was the original start time. WWE has made heavy attempts to counter-program AEW as of late, running their WrestlePalooza show on the same night as they debut on ESPN. Now, sources that Fightful Select spoke to in AEW said that the afternoon pay-per-view success of Forbidden Door helped contribute to the decision, which has been discussed for weeks. Sure, they want to hide the Forbidden Door success behind this move of All Out now moving from 8 p.m. to 3 p.m. You know, the fact that WWE is running head-to-head had absolutely nothing to do with it, but yeah, let's cite Forbidden Door's success as the primary reason why we're moving to 3 p.m. Bro, you knew you were going to get slaughtered. You knew that there was absolutely nothing you could do to combat what WWE has coming on September 20th, and you made a cowardly move instead of resting on your laurels and resting on your product and putting out a product that you are incredibly proud of and not giving a shit. You made the move anyway, and honestly, I'm happy as a content creator because now I get to watch at least 90% of All Out and then watch WrestlePalooza. But there's literally, in all seriousness, there's nothing that Tony Khan could have done in that move that would make him look good. There would be a complaint no matter what. Why are you going head-to-head with WWE? Move the show to 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. or earlier in the afternoon. And then if he does, oh, you're a coward. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're scared. You don't trust your product. Blah, blah, blah. There's legitimately nothing he was going to be able to do. So I'm looking at it just selfishly that they're moving the show to 3 p.m., that gives me an opportunity to now watch it in the afternoon instead of watching it, what was originally planned to happen on Sunday. So now I get to watch one in the afternoon and one in the evening, and then go live with WrestlePalooza on Saturday night, and then live with All Out and the post show with Jesse on Sunday afternoon. So as far as a work perspective, I think the move for me selfishly is going to work out a lot better. But no, they didn't move the show to 3 p.m. because of Forbidden Door's success. They moved it because they knew they were going to get slaughtered going head-to-head with WWE. And honestly, if you are a sicko, you're not watching WWE WrestlePalooza. You don't give a shit about Brock Lesnar, John Cena. You don't care about AJ Lee coming back to team with CM Punk against Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, which is the rumor right now, big-time rumor. If you are a sicko and you are already planning to watch AEW, you're not watching WrestlePalooza. So no matter where they go, 3 p.m., 7 p.m., fucking 1 p.m., 8 p.m., it doesn't matter what AEW does as far as moving the show to a set time. The pay-per-view buy rates will be unaffected. This is what they don't get. If you are a sicko, you will remain a sicko. You're not going to be watching the Fed on Saturday afternoon. This is what most people are not going to really tell you and be upfront with. Sources that Fightful Select spoke to in AEW said that the Forbidden Door helped contribute to this decision, which had been discussed for weeks. AEW announced their new TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery ahead of 2025, and now HBO joins the company's growing list of pay-per-view providers. AEW and Warner Brothers provided Fightful with the following quote: Warner Brothers Discovery, HBO Max, and All Elite Wrestling Today announced a groundbreaking expansion of their nearly 6-year relationship with the launch of AEW pay-per-view events on HBO Max, starting with AEW All Out Saturday, September 20th at 3 p.m. from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada. HBO Max will stream live AEW pay-per-view events without ads, and all marketing and promotions of AEW events primarily centered on HBO Max. Pre-orders for AEW All Out on HBO Max will launch this Friday, September 5th, allowing U.S. HBO Max subscribers with supported devices to purchase the event for the exclusive price of $39.99. So for all those people who thought that if you were already a subscriber to Max and you were waiting on HBO to start streaming AEW pay-per-views on their streaming service and that they would be free, you're shit out of luck, bro. It's not going to happen. Now, I will get into why this is a fail in a second. Fans streaming AEW All Out on HBO Max can enjoy this event in HDR10 and Dolby Atmos, delivering stunning picture quality and immersive arena-like sound that puts fans at the center of the action. Purchase and access to pay-per-view content may vary by subscription provider. HBO Max users with a base subscription, which is $9.99, by the way, and a supported device can log on to purchase the event, which will be highlighted through the app or found in search. It should be on front of everybody's homepage on Saturday, September 20th. We don't need to go fucking digging deep on their fucking streaming service to go find where AEW All Out is. Once a purchase is complete, subscribers can find the event under My Purchases via the My Stuff page on the HBO Max menu. After the event, replays will be exclusively available for 6 months for purchasers. That may be worth it alone right there. For information on HBO Max pay-per-view experience, please look further on the website. Leading into AEW All Out that Saturday, September 20th, TNT and HBO Max will air AEW Saturday Tailgate Brawl All Out at 2 p.m., and a 1-hour live show that will get fans' adrenaline pumping for the afternoon's main attraction. Who wrote this? ChatGPT? Who types like this? And who speaks like this? Also, earlier in the week, on Wednesday, September 17th, TBS and HBO Max will be live from London, Ontario, for a special 3-hour AEW block of television. September to remember, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, featuring AEW's biggest names in nonstop high-flying action as they set the stage for the signature pay-per-view event that weekend. The addition of AEW pay-per-view events on HBO Max continues an incredible year for AEW programming across Warner Brothers Discovery networks and platforms, delivering the wildest offering for AEW fans ever. HBO Max subscribers in the U.S. have access to a growing library of hundreds of hours of AEW content, including all new AEW weekly telecasts, Dynamite on TBS, and AEW Collision on TNT, as a live simulcast as well as on-demand replays, all AEW pay-per-view special events through the end of 2024, all episodes of Dynamite from its first 2 years, as well as its recent episodes of Dynamite and Collision. Then they go on to say and brag about how great their year is. AEW programming has reached more than 11 million fans so far this year across TBS and TNT, with AEW Dynamite on TBS ranking as Wednesday's #1 cable entertainment program amongst the 18 to 49 demo. Yeah, which is down by 50%, by the way, from where Punk Man was 2 years ago. They don't want to mention that, though. But everything's up. Everything's great. Collision also ranks amongst the top 5 programs in its Saturday time slot amongst the 18 to 49. And TNT's April 26th episode of Collision delivered the show's third largest total viewers ever. And TBS AEW Grand Slam Mexico on June 18th had the most watched AEW Dynamite viewership amongst the 25 to 54 demo in nearly a year, since July of 2024. Yeah, it's funny. The largest rating that the show has done was the date where they aired the Jack Perry footage from the All In incident with Punk and Jack Perry. That was, 850,000 or so? They have yet to top that in demo and overall viewership. Goes to show you that CM Punk is still their biggest draw. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fail. This is a fail. I did not expect AEW to give us free pay-per-view. I don't know why anybody would think that. Now, you're probably asking, it should be free. Why isn't it free, Jay? Why isn't it free, JDfromNY? The reason it's not free is because AEW makes $0 domestically. You want the honest, upfront truth. AEW does not make any money domestically. The only money that they seemingly make is when they go international. They make money and sell out arenas left and right internationally, but those people are starved for pro wrestling content that comes from the United States anyway. You could put shit on a fucking plate and put it in the middle of the ring, and they consider it a 5-star banger. AEW doesn't make any money in the United States. Everything is not great. The ratings are down. The demos are half of what they used to be. The ratings have not eclipsed that one episode with Punk and Perry's footage since, what was that, 2 years ago? Last year? What was that, last year? I don't even remember. Whatever it was, April, they aired it. They haven't topped it since in the overall demo and the overall viewership of the show. That's sad. For such a great product, you would think that they would be blowing that number away. Everything is not great. If they were, they wouldn't be running residencies in the ECW arena in front of 900 pours. They would not be running residencies in Chicago. They wouldn't be running residencies in Cincinnati. They wouldn't be filling these arenas with 1,500 to 2,000 weekly, even when they don't run residencies. They are nowhere near filling AEW Dynamite on a weekly basis. It is not a show people want to watch. It is not a show people are attracted to. There's nothing interesting coming off the program. It is a program that week by week insults your intelligence. Big time. AEW considers themselves the alternative. The one thing I look at here with this partnership between HBO Max and AEW is how AEW is absolutely lost. They are incapable, and it's so unbelievable to me. They're so proud of their pay-per-view and what they do on pay-per-view, and everybody knows that they do great pay-per-views. The inability to sell their pay-per-views to HBO Max to a point where it would be lucrative enough for HBO to give them more money for their content, their best content. And this is what's sad. The inability from Tony Khan and AEW to sell HBO Max on their best shit, on their biggest shows, so that it may be integrated into the HBO Max service, speaks volumes about what HBO thinks of AEW, about AEW's leadership, about AEW's content and the quality of said content. And it goes to show you that no matter what happens after this deal with HBO is up, that if HBO is not willing to work with AEW on their best content, that nobody is going to be able to work and nobody's going to be willing to work with AEW for their best content. This is the top of the line, folks. This is the top of the line. AEW pay-per-view is the only domestic revenue stream for Tony Khan and AEW. Everybody knows it. Tony Khan knows it. And it was going to be like pulling teeth for him to part with this type of content at a lesser price. So you and I and everybody that watches this and consumes their product weekly now has to pay the fucking price of nothing. Nothing changed. They want to make this a big deal. Oh, yeah, we're now streaming on HBO Max. Do you understand that it is now cheaper if you own no streaming service or services that provide AEW content? It is now more if you own Max, Amazon, or wherever else you get your fucking subscription services. It is cheaper if you own no subscriptions to these services and you go through basic traditional cable providers, or you go and watch it how you have already been watching before this announcement was made today via social media. Do you understand it is now cheaper to watch AEW pay-per-view away from Max? For example, I watch on Verizon. Now, I pay for a $16.99 subscription service for HBO Max. If I'm paying for HBO Max for $17 plus taxes and fees a month, then you provide me with the option to buy AEW All Out and whatever else is going to be happening after this, World's End, Full Gear, Wrestle Dream. For $39.99, we get that $10 discount every time there's an AEW pay-per-view. $16.99 plus taxes and fees, plus then you got to buy the pay-per-view for $40. I'm paying more for AEW content than I would be without a Max subscription and just going through a cable provider. I don't even watch Dynamite on fucking Max. I watch it on TBS through Verizon. Why do I need to watch it on there? But now they're going to hype it up. Oh, we got Dolby Atmos. And oh, we got HDR10 delivering stunning picture quality and immersive arena-like sound. You mean to tell me you want me to trust AEW's production team when there's a production faux pas every single fucking week? No, I don't believe that for a fucking second. It is cheaper to now watch AEW pay-per-views away from all of the streaming services that now provide AEW content. What could they have done differently? They're the alternative, aren't they? In a world where WWE is now spreading their content every which way that they can, and you need 5 or 6 subscription services to watch and consume all of WWE's product. I don't know why HBO and AEW didn't work out a renewal of their deal that gives the fans all the power. You want to get an audience back to watch your product. You want new people to watch your product. You want those old fans that you fucking drove away to come back. And you want to welcome them back by doing something for them. This should have been a fucking slam dunk for AEW, and I just don't know how. Free was never going to happen. Free was never going to happen. $40 is still too much. The sweet spot would have been $19.99, at most $24.99. A basic subscription fee for HBO Max is $9.99. A standard is $16.99. And a elite package or whatever the higher tier package is $20.99, $21 a month. I may be off by $1 or $2, but those are the ballparks for a basic, standard, and ultimate viewing experience on HBO Max. if AEW and HBO Max were working together for the viewer and the fan, and HBO Max believed in AEW enough, they would take all of their pay-per-views, bundle it into at least the standard subscription and elite subscription package, and you get them for no extra cost, and you get them if you are a subscriber to the second or third biggest tier on HBO Max. That's number one. Number two, they should have lowered the price to $20, at most $25. Because at that point, even with that price, you'd still be getting away with saving a couple of dollars. You're saving nothing by what they've instituted here. AEW failed with this announcement. It is now costing you more to watch their pay-per-views instead of if you go through a traditional pay-per-view provider like Verizon or Cablevision or Comcast, and you didn't own a streaming service like Amazon or HBO Max. Where is the benefit in the fucking fan? How are we benefiting from this? You think you're going to be selling us on Dolby Atmos and HDR10? Who gives a shit? People want to save money. They don't give a fuck if they have to watch it in 720p, as long as they save some money. That's what people concern themselves with the most here in 2025. Who gives a shit? Who cares? You have dropped the ball on one of the biggest announcements that you could have possibly made. You want people to sway their decision on what to watch? You should have, first of all, and never mind what I just said, if they really wanted to fucking give the fans a true experience, this first show should have been free. This should have been a test run. Please, we're welcoming everybody who wants to join in on us for All Out. It should have been free for the first show, for the first initial show launched on HBO Max. Free for everybody. Instead, you're going to end up paying more for what right now is looking like a subpar product compared to what WWE is doing with WrestlePalooza. Fucking fail. Fucking fail. We even talked about this on TNT last night. Legitimately talked about this on TNT last night. We both said, me and the Solid Monster, $40, there's absolutely zero difference in what you're doing now and what you've been doing for the last 6 years. If they wanted to go to $29.99, that would have even been better. But the sweet spot would have been $24.99, or at least bundle it into the standard or ultimate tiered subscription for the service, and you pay no additional cost for their pay-per-view. Could you imagine the numbers for their pay-per-view right now, which sit between 100 and 150,000, depending on the importance of the show? For an all-in, it's probably 160, 170, whatever the case may be. Those pay-per-view numbers would have been at least up 30 to 40% if you did exactly what you should have done, and that is create a true fan experience. But like I said, the inability of AEW to sell their own top-tier best product, which is their pay-per-views every single month, to HBO Max should signal to you that they are not in a good place and that HBO doesn't believe enough. They believe in some, but they don't believe in enough of the AEW product to warrant spending any more money than they already have on Tony Khan's obviously average and subpar product. What an awful fucking move. Don't be blinded by their narrative. Don't be blinded by their fucking greats and their excitement. And don't be blinded by their hype. You're saving more money by not subscribing to HBO Max. And if you want to watch nothing but the pay-per-views, which at this point, I don't know why anybody's watching the weekly fucking shows, why you would subscribe to HBO Max when you will be out more money than if you went through the way you've already been consuming their pay-per-views, like a traditional cable provider or whatever way you've been watching. This is a fucking fail by AEW. There's no other way to look at it. It's just a stupid move. They gave this no thought. They rushed it out. And the only thing that I say is a positive here, and you know, you could fucking make fun of Tony Khan all you want for being a coward and being scared and not trusting his product and putting on the best show and not worrying about what WWE's doing. 3 p.m. for me as a content creator to watch both shows is the best thing that comes out of this announcement. Because now I could get to watch both, and I could go live with one on one night and live with the other the next day. Nothing he would have done in that move would have been a good decision. There would have been a complaint no matter which way he went. But this HBO Max streaming deal service, this nonsense, this announcement, a fucking fail by AEW. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. Sound off in the comment section. Are you going to be tuning into All Out with this announcement? Are you excited about this pay-per-view announcement streaming on Max? How do you watch the shows? Let me know how you're feeling about it, and sound off in the comments section below. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and please go check out all the great content on the channel already from this weekend, from this week, and we got more coming this week right here on Off the Script. Everything you need is on the homepage. Hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes is the goal, and hit that subscribe button down below. I'll see you guys tonight live for the AEW Dynamite post show with Jesse the Chi-Town Smart right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.